Awesome. Well, hey, I was just gonna share this with you because it helped our business so much that I figured got to share what we know, especially with EXP, because we like to be collaborative and people give away the keys to the castle. What we think is so important to us agents sometimes, we think, oh, it's mine, but you know what? We're just gonna share it because why not all improve, right? And so what I'm going to talk about today is you're going to think of it more kind of as like, oh, that's just kind of like processes and onboarding. But you're going to realize that with what we did, we started off like every agent, we're just pretty much working with any client we could get. We started in 2007, 2006. So we had to basically do everything. But what we tailored our business over the first 10 years is that we said to ourselves, look, we want to work with the people that we enjoy working with. And one time, my old broker said, well, if you're not happy with the clients you currently have, is because that's what you're producing. Your marketing, your way you do business will result in the types and the quality of clients that you will get. And so I was like, okay, that hurt because we were always having these drama, clients who would come in and suck the life out of you. And then, every couple months it was like they would just hurt our business. And I'm like, well, maybe I should take a little bit of personal responsibility on this. Maybe it's not all the clients' fault. Maybe I could be a better realtor, team lead, or whatever, and do a better job of setting them up for success rather than just having more drama in my business. So what we did is we developed an onboarding process, and then that sounds kind of boring, but what we're going to do is based on that onboarding process, you're going to see how you can pepper in your own secret sauces and your things that you may think will be added value for the customer. And I think with just a base of what we do, you can really get some good ideas going and have some out of the box things, right? So that's kind of what I wanted to talk to you guys about, because if you guys want to just give me a quick show of hands, who already onboards their clients or does at least like a buyer consultation, right? Or a listing consultation. It's okay if you don't, but if you don't, okay. Because we all do listing presentations to try to get the client, and we do listing presentations as well. But then when it gets closer to the time of listing, I found that my clients were always asking me, Sean, what's next? We don't know what's next. And they have this almost like anxiety, okay? And I said, okay, how can I develop something so I don't have to deal with them constantly bothering me and like worrying about what's next? And what we did is we came up with what we call our seller onboarding. And we have been working on this for probably like 8 years. And it's kind of what you would say a questionnaire, but really it's a lot more than that, okay? So, and just for AI, having fun with AI, you want to write this down, I use an app called gamma.app. It's a GAMMA. This thing helps you create presentations in like 1 minute. So I just spoke my presentation on what I wanted to do into ChatGPT with a lot of details. I plugged it into this app, and I wanted to show you guys just a real quick product of what it can do for you, and it's free, but then you can pay for a little bit more more robust. They can give you more slides and stuff like that. But you can see my screen. We're good to go, right?
Good.
Okay. So like I was saying before, if we want to have a perfect client experience, we want to do the perfect transaction. And that's difficult to do every time. But what I want to show you guys today will help you get those perfect transactions, that perfect closing, and the kind of the fairy tale story for your client on as many transactions as you can. And like I said, it starts off with great customer experiences. So, like if you go through a buyer consultation, you tell a buyer a bunch of things and tell them. They can't absorb all that information, right? So it gets to be very much like you're talking at them. You're telling them the next buyer process or the listing process. And so, that is better than not doing it at all, right? But the problem with most onboarding or client experience is that we do all the talking. The clients sit there and they listen passively, and the information overload happens, and then they never receive anything from that meeting usually anyway. So they're just kind of like trying to remember it. I'm like, okay, I guess I don't have questions, but yeah, let's go next, right? So what we want to do is we want to kind of flip the script. And what we do is a onboarding that works a little bit more like we give, we receive, and then all the information we gather, it gets delivered to them so that they actually have it. And they can, if they're a checklist type person, they are like already loving me. They're like, oh my God, this is the next steps. Like I know exactly what to do. And so it sets the expectations, it covers the bases. But when we do it the old way, where it's just like talking to them, it kind of lacks connection because it's all about the process, right? Very boring. So the shift happens when we let the client speak more. It builds trust and curiosity and loyalty. Plus we get to tell them all the cool stuff we do. And we get to ask them like, what does your dream house look like? Like how many bedrooms you want, how many bathrooms you want. But what I do is I actually like pull out all the juicy information. So I like, okay, tell me about that kitchen. What are you looking for? What's the back of the yard going to look for? What's this, all that stuff? Because I'm not just getting an onboarding. We're going to use this information to do content, and we're going to use it to do a blog post, and we're going to use it to end the presentation with a really nice bow. And I'll show you this after we get through this last couple slides. So yeah, when we do this style of onboarding, again, asking questions, listening, we're writing down, we're checking these boxes within the presentation, we're educating them along the way, and then we capture their fears, wants, and timelines. And tool number one and how you can do this if you're interested is a free program. You guys might have used Google Forms, right? Who's used Google Forms for lead capture and stuff? Yeah. Free. You can make it as long, or you can put photos, you can put images in there. It works great. We happen to use Typeforms because this for us is actually our listing presentation, and we use it for the onboarding. So we like to have it more polished, and that's like 25, 30 bucks a month for this. But again, I use it for a lot of things. So for me, it's worth it to use Typeforms, but there's always a good free option. So then what we're doing is we're codifying the whole process. And I'm going to show you right here. I'm just going to end it right here on the slides. I'm going to jump right in and show you what our onboarding looks like. Okay. So this might go too slow if I show you the actual. I'll go through a couple. How do they learn about our team? Oh, okay, Maria referred us. Now I know in my database who I need to give a thank you to, and I won't forget, right? Or I'll just call it whatever. Maria Bravo, she's one that referred us. Maria Bravo referred us to you. Great. What's your main motivation to buy a home? Everything you want to know, you start typing it in the notes. Is there a concern that you have or something you really want to avoid with this transaction? We're talking to a seller at this point. I don't want to have double mortgage payments. Oh my God, I do not want to have double mortgage payments. So we put all those notes in and we start going through these questions. What is your level of confidence in knowing the home buying process? Actually, this is the buyer one. Sorry, this is the buyer one. Oh, I'm a first-time home buyer. I don't know anything. Oh, I'm an expert. I know everything, right? I'm a contractor. So there's all these questions we do. And that way we don't talk down to people, right? So I'm gonna skip over to show you, so I don't have to go through these. I can show you quickly. And I'm also gonna switch over to the selling side. So this is the seller onboarding. We capture their names, the home address, all that stuff. All the boring stuff, right? Is your house held in a trust? Upload a current, if you have a mortgage statement, upload it here, or we're going to remind them to send it in. When would you like your home to go on the market? And by the way, I have a document. I'm going to share these links with you guys so you can go through and take what you like and make your own if you want to. So I'll give you this, okay? Timeline. When do you need to close on this home? Do you even have a timeline? Will you be moving to a different agent? Will you need a referral? Is your home located on a mud or a pit? All these things we need to know. T47, all the boring stuff. Is the home going to be vacant? Who's on title? Will you be occupying the home? All these things are in here, right? How are you feeling about selling your home? I'm really comfortable. Oh, it's been a long time. I'm a little overwhelmed. You know, I need to know that because people put up a front and they're always like, "Oh, I got this," but inside they're really stressed. So I need to know about these things. I talk about value. What's the home worth? You know, who sets the price? Who actually decides what it will sell for, right? So I do like a little quiz and I make it funny. Um, the market has the final say on what the price will be, right? It's not the realtor, it's not the seller, you know. So we kind of have fun. Do we have a list price yet? So we're gonna talk about price, jot down notes. We may not have a list price in the beginning, right? Anyone else involved with the decision-making process? Who's had their sister come in and derail the whole thing because she has her license out in California and she's an expert? So, well, we need to know if your friend or relative is going to be involved because then you got to bring them in now. Otherwise, no. All these things, right? What unique features does your home have? Do your fireplaces work? Like on and on and on and on. It seems a lot, but a lot of these things are just checking a box. So you're not necessarily like going through a lengthy like writing a paper here, right? It takes about 30 minutes to get through it. If you're a little long-winded, it might be 45 minutes. And at the end, we just kind of say, look, now we have a whole game plan. We're a team. You can give us a call anytime, and they submit it. Okay.
Sean, can I ask something real fast? Just so I understand,
Sure.
real quick, is this something you're doing with them, like at the kitchen table? Is this something you're sending to them after you've met with them and they're filling this out? And
Good question.
What's the process that you're using this with?
Typically, this is a Zoom.
Okay.
Always done with the client in person. I never let them fill this out by themselves.
Okay.
Yeah, because this is how I learn more about them.
Right.
And also, like, I'm asking them like about their house. I'm not just saying like, oh, how many bedrooms does it have? I'm saying, what is your favorite aspect of your home? What is your favorite aspect about your neighborhood? And I'm just like going to town because now I know how to write the comments and the listing comments, right? I can project what they love about their own home. And so, yes, perfect question. And I would do this in person, but mostly it's Zoom because it's more convenient. I do it at like 8 p.m. at night and just when everyone's relaxed.
So would this be, have you already met with them at their house? Or is this something, I mean, or they're just, this is a, you know, I'm just trying to wrap my head around the process.
Yeah. So you have previously done a listing appointment and won the listing.
Okay.
Ideally, they've already signed like a contract, and maybe like a, you know, extended contract where they're going to be listing the house in 2 weeks or 2 months. A lot of people we work with need to get the house ready and paint and send the cleaners, and we have a designer. So we do this so that people know what's next after they sign the listing agreement.
Gotcha.
Yep.
Makes sense. Okay.
Good questions. And if anyone has questions at this point, because I'm going to go in to just show you how this ends up and what they receive from this. So any other questions for now?
Anything, guys? Open your mic.
Okay.
Good. Okay.
So then inside of Typeform or your Google, you are going to end up with the results, right? So you can go and you can get the results, the responses, and you could literally just grab this whole information. I'm going to give you guys this this is the buyer section. So I'm going to show you the seller section down here. And you're going to put this into ChatGPT and literally just going to put this prompt into chat. You're going to put the response right here, hit copy and paste. And what it's going to produce is an email that looks like this. Thank you for completing our form, blah, blah, blah. It spits out all their information. Now my assistant or transaction coordinator, whatever, can get this too. Timeline and launch plan. Go live on this date, photography, this is scheduled. We do a designer, so we also coordinate her for next steps. Property details, so they've given me all their electric and utility information. They've told me that their fireplaces are good. HOA information, I've got it all. Financial overview. And then these are some of my deliverables. So before the photographer comes, I've got a pre-listing checklist to get the house ready. So they can get a reminder of like, hey, make sure all these things are done, you know, and getting ready. Day of the photos, I've got that all ready to go.
Nice.
So they don't leave garbage cans in the driveway and all that stuff. Here's their showing information. They're going to get either showing time or broker bay or whatever. They're approving a sign. They understand that, we're going to put a sign. And then here's more deliverables. These are their to-do list. You got to fill out the disclosures. We're going to order the home packet, Our sellers like to write a seller letter that goes in our booklet. And then my assistant helps them get all the upgrades and improvements to the house so that we can pack full their packet for all the stuff they've done. And then next steps. And so does this, as a seller, if you put yourself in their shoes, would you think to yourself, man, this agent has this whole process ready to go? They might have questions, but at least we've now covered everything. And so from this point, how are you guys feeling? Would this help? Or does this make sense to implement something like this for your own? We'll see, right?
Yeah. What are your thoughts, guys, as you see this? I love this myself. I mean, I think in terms of, you send this to a seller, it's like, holy cow, like, yeah, this guy's on it. Like, like that.
Absolutely.
You're a pro. Like this.
Yep. And then my assistant, obviously, she's actually the one who sent this for me. So now she's updated on what's going on with the file. So she just has a nice overview. If I really wanted to, I could send this to my lender and say, hey, lender, this is kind of, they're going to be buying a house after we sell. This is kind of their roadmap, our timeline, just so they can be in the loop. And then from here, they have learned about, like, for example, this is our buyer promo. This is something that we do for, like, let's say they're buying a house after they list or whatever. They get to know, like, wow, we get a closing gift, and they can choose through our closing gift. But I'll be able to tell them this, because if people don't understand, like, most agents don't do a closing gift that's even that great. So these are our closing gifts for buyers. So they learned about that. And then my assistant takes that information and she starts our workflow. And I don't know, I'm not going to teach you guys on this today, but I'm just going to give you kind of a hint on what we do. We use Asana to help keep my assistant on track. And then one of the things that she does in here with all this information is she grabs it and she writes a blog. So we do a blog for every client called Buyer Chronicles. And we essentially, this is going to be the document I'm going to share with you in case you want to nerd out a little bit. We just I have a big, huge prompt here that we take this whole thing and we put it in chat along with that response. And it pushes out a blog post. This is their final one. So they bought with us. There's his review. Because in order for us to get a review, or in order for him to get his closing gift, he has agreed to give us a review. So I'm kind of buying a review, but you know what? People won't do it these days. Who has a problem getting reviews?
Yeah. All of us.
And when I finally got a little bit more stern on my review request, I said, hey, great. Do you want to get this gift? Yes. They say, yes, I want to get the knives, which is a really popular one. It says, here is a few guidelines. You got to give us a review. We have to make a full commission. Was that okay? Okay, great. Now, they're in the know. So we've been getting every review, ironically, right? And they don't mind, honestly. It's fair. So anyway, back to this blog. We took their document. We put it in here, and we told their whole story about their home buying journey, and we did get permission. That's another thing we do in onboarding. We ask for permission. And so then kind of told them, hey, the builder kicked back $10,000. It was a great experience. If you want to start your journey with us, here's how you start, right? So it's kind of a full circle thing that we build on is this initial process, right? And you can customize it. Hey, I want to make sure I do a blog. Hey, I want to make sure I get a review. Hey, I want to make sure whatever you guys can think of that's tailored to your business, this is an easy way for you guys to launch that and keep yourself on track.
That's awesome.
Personally, I need an assistant because I mean, if we do, 40, 50 sales a year, I need an assistant to make sure I'm on track. But if you're cranking out like, maybe 5 to 15 deals a year, you could probably manage this on your own. But what did we cover today? We covered a closing gift, how to review people, how to get reviews, because I couldn't figure this out for years, guys. And then how to wow clients, because after they've done this whole process and they've heard it all on what's next, and then we actually deliver, they just refer us. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so, not to overcomplicate this process, but we can even go into some questions, and I wouldn't mind just saying, hey, what are you even thinking about, and how can we help integrate it for you? Because we don't need to go into the nitty gritty here. You guys are probably good at tech and everything else, so you can figure out a lot on your own. So let's see what we can do to integrate for you guys.
Let's do it. There's definitely some questions here. We'll get to these. I'll give you a review. I want that espresso machine, John. I'll take that one.
There you go.
I need a new one. Real quick, and people are asking too, the prompts. Can you share the prompts with us, or give us, can you, like the different prompts? I don't know if you put that in the chat that people could then go in and kind of play with this a little bit.
I have a Google Doc here I will put in to share with everyone.
Okay, perfect.
And I will even maybe clean it up and modify it as we, and I'll just add to it. So I'll share it here.
Okay.
Open to all. Copy link and going into the chat.
Paula, do you want to unmute yourself and you put your question in the chat? Do you want to unmute yourself and just, since we got some time here, go ahead.
So this sounds really great. I was just curious. I'm not exactly sure, like in the Zoom call that you do with them where you're going through the survey questions, are you just screen sharing with them and you're just reading the questions and then you enter the answers that they give you or the selections or whatever and put the comments in, or are they doing it on their end?
I do it on mine because people struggle and sometimes they're on their phone. Okay. So I have full control and I just listen and I enter in and take notes and check the boxes that need to be checked.
Okay, but they can view it as you're going through the stuff with them. Okay.
Absolutely. Yep.
And then just so I understand the process, you've got that form filled out. You now take that, you have that prompt that you use to then spit out that document that has all those different bullet points and all the different things, their to-dos, the disclosure forms and all that kind of stuff. I love the checklist, like, okay, before pictures, here's the stuff, How many times we showed up at a house and like, oh, shoot, I thought you said they think they're ready for pictures and they're not even close to being ready for pictures, Right. I've rescheduled multiple picture taking sessions over the years,
Yeah, and sometimes we have, we do this onboarding as they're getting the house painted and carpet. So it could be 2 months before we actually hit the market. So maybe I'll resend that and I'm like, hey guys, looks like we're good up to this point. Here's your next steps. And I'll just highlight it in yellow. Don't forget to do the disclosures, make sure the house is ready, and then just do a check-in. And I just refer to that whole list again.
Ted was asking if we could get a link, like that page that you have for the closing gifts.
Oh yeah, sure. I'll put it right in the Google Docs, so it's just there. Because I think honestly, I think all agents should do some type of fun closing gift. It has been one of the greatest things that we've done, and I have two tiers of closing gifts. By the way, I have a upper figure. They're all the same format though, so it's going to be okay. I'm going to just closing gift.
So that page that we saw, that was for buyers. They've gone through
that was mostly a listing page.
Oh, but the page of closing gifts, was that, I think?
No, actually for buyers, only buyers get a closing gift because it's going to be in their new home and I want it to be there forever. That's why they're kind of like physical things. And I'll just kind of share my screen again real quick so I can show you guys. I'll just show you this Google Doc so you guys can look at it while we do this. So yeah, here's the closing gift.
Okay.
Link to that. Here's our buyer onboarding, so you can see all the questions we use for that. There's our prompt, which is longer for whatever reason for the buyers because we write a huge blog. And then down below here's our seller onboarding. And then the prompt we use for that to generate that email and checklist.
Right. And guys, that's all in, and tell me if I'm wrong, Sean, that's all in the Google Doc that you just shared with us here in the chat, right?
Absolutely.
We're actually looking at that right now. So yeah.
It's all there, and I'll just maybe add anything we think of during the meeting here, so you guys can have it all at your fingertips.
Okay.
But yeah, what else have you guys thought about implementing that this might help, or anything like that you guys have been dreaming about to do? Could be an event. Like, I really want to do events for my clients. Like, I don't know, anything that's kind of on your mind.
What thoughts do you have on this, guys? I mean, it's almost mastermind a little bit here.
I would add something. Sean, good morning. Thanks for the
Morning.
presentation. And yeah, I caught your last presentation with us. Really cool. I would just say that, having this checklist, it gives them a little peace of mind. I like the idea of doing that. I usually try to do something along that line, but, a shorter checklist, but that's pretty complete and looks great, man. Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, I tend to keep adding to it. Some of the questions, I might just do. I might have a section, like the first section of my onboarding. Sometimes I'm going to move some of those questions up that are more for me, so I don't have to go through with the client, like what title company we're going to be using, who's their lender, and some of those questions that they don't really need to be worried about. So that's something that I might clean up with this checklist and this presentation, because it gets a little bit long sometimes when people are very, very windy. And I might even have my assistant start doing this when I don't have the time, because now it's formatted where anyone could just basically ask the questions and write it down. And if I don't have time to do it, it can even be done with an assistant.
Yeah, you could have somebody else do that.
Mm-hmm.
That Q&A. Interesting. Is there any, are you doing any open houses, Sean? Are you doing open houses for your list?
We do. This year it was tough because they were so dead. So we only did them like for the first maybe 2 or 3 weeks.
Right.
And we wouldn't, if it was a stale listing and if they didn't price it right, sometimes I would just be like, offer it to other agents or something. But I think we did 2 or 3 closings in 2025 only off of open houses. So, man, it works. And in my open houses, I offer my buyer promos. I offer, if you guys want to see what I do in open houses, I can share with you that as well, because I found that showing what you do and what people get is so much more. It's easier to have a conversation with people. Where is it? Open house promo card. I have it to talk to a buyer, obviously, because they're in the open house. But if I learn that someone is potentially looking to sell, I have my perks for my sellers as well. So let's just run through it real quick. And it's just like, picture someone walks in the open, you check in with them, you see how you're doing. You let them run around, and before they leave, you say, "Hey, do you mind if I share with you some really cool promotions that we're running?" And most of them are like, "Sure." Well, we have amazing closing gifts, and I actually have it usually pulled up on my computer. Our clients who buy get a really cool closing gift. We plug you into our communities here, so we know all the best Facebook groups and activities that people can do in the area. So we also have access to first-time homebuyer programs, grants, all kinds of stuff like that. And then if you were on our last training, we kind of just go through like our client discounts. So we're agents who have the ability to purchase high-ticket items at dealer costs, and we pass those savings on to our clients. So windows, furnaces and ACs, flooring, anything that you might want to update your home. You can always call us for our client. If you're a client, you can always call us for discounts and deals. And they're like, "Oh, I've never heard of that before." And now you're having a conversation.
And that was the last training that he did, guys. I put the link in the chat there if you want to watch that last training, because he went through that whole program. It was phenomenal. Stuff you're doing like that.
It's a conversation piece, because if you're not different than any other agent, they really don't care about us that much, right? They just want to buy a house. And if they think, wow, this person can add value to the buying process and be a resource to help me get plugged in, they have deals, they have a gift, like, why not pay attention for 2 seconds? And then if they're like, "Oh yeah, I'm going to be selling my house as well." Oh, we have our trusted partners. We have painters, carpet folks come in, help you get all ready. We have a designer that we come in. She's for free. We have her help you get the house ready, make recommendations so your house looks like a model home as it hits the market. And then the same, they get client discounts as well.
Sean, can I answer something for the open house strategy
Absolutely.
that we
This is my
use?
wife, Blanca.
Hey, Blanca.
Hi.
Yeah, and I'll tell you the reason I was asking that. I'm wondering if that would be something that would be integrated into that, into that document. Again, is there something in there that again could be done with that? But go ahead, Blanca.
There is a strategy that we have used. We don't love open houses, but when we do them with a strategy, and especially with our own listings, because we want the seller to feel like we are doing more. So especially the first weekend, what we do is we try to line it up with another listing in the neighborhood. That way, Sean is sitting at one listing, I'm sitting at the other listing, and this has worked. We have gotten buyers from this beautifully because he's sitting on one listing, I'm sitting at the other listing, and we're sending buyers to each other. When they come, I talk to them. I'm usually the person who will hold your hand and you will call when you're having anxiety to sell. And Sean is more of the guy who will tell you more of the strategy on the other side, like the numbers guy, the how much is going to sell for. So people come to my open house and I'm talking to them about how they feel about the move and all of that. Then I send them to Sean and I go, you need to go talk to Sean. He's at this other open house. That way I get in their ear about what we do, and then he closes them up, or the other way around. And that way they meet both of us and they feel like now we are really part of this team. We also try to have somebody else in the open house so that person can be there if we can go show them the whole development, especially where we live. There is a development and we want to show them the swimming pool and all the different benefits that they get. Not because if you're just there by yourself, they just come through and it's a house. There's nothing of value. But if you get out of the house and say, I'm going to go show you the pool, the gym, the kids' playroom, whatever, like just get them out. You're building that rapport with them all the way. And we did that, like literally, we can tell you, like we did like probably 10 open houses last year, and we saw like three out of those 10 open houses, we got clients out of every, pretty like 30% of the time.
Yeah. And we do on the onboarding, we do mention our client discounts. So they kind of get an idea about that, and they're kind of just like, okay, whatever, but it just plants a seed. We tell them that we have trusted partners. So when you buy your house, if you ever need an electrician or anyone, we've got you covered. And then we do tell them about their buyer gifts. So they plant a seed and they're already like, yep, cool, send me the link. They just know that you have to follow us on social and give us a review in order to get your gift. And so we do mention that for sure on the onboarding process. Yep.
Another good tip for the open houses, have your seller post it in their Facebook groups that you're going to be doing an open house and your agents are going to be there to answer questions.
And then we kind of ask them, have you ever heard of other realtors offering perks or benefits like this? It's like, no, we haven't. Okay, great. Just mental note. Good to know.
Yeah.
So
that's awesome. Mike, do you want to unmute yourself? Ask your question. You had a question over here.
Yeah, so the link that you have obviously went back to your setup for closing gifts and whatnot. Is there a link or even a service that we can look into that can provide this stuff, or does this has to strictly go through your platform?
no. So if you're talking about how to set up the closing gift offering, you can simply use Google Forms and just I think you can create an image with just some of the photos and the gifts that you want to provide, and just add that to the Google Forms and say, hey, they can select, I want the vacuum, or I want the knife set, or whatever, and just make it a simple form. So anyone can do it for free. I personally use Typeforms because it's a little bit nicer looking. But yeah, there's a lot of those. You can even use Go High Level, or I don't know, as long as you can put some information like a photo in there and just customize a little bit so you can write your selections.
I guess I have a question for you. Who is techie here? Because I'm not. I needed him. So do you know what he's talking about? Like, can you handle it? Or would you like to have a meeting with him to like walk you through like A, B, C, here's the link,
Well,
click?
that is always easier. Yes, it's easier.
Because I needed him. Before if he came into the team, I was like, I had stacks of paper like this high of like everything I was doing. And when he came in, he's like, what is this? This is a mess. I'm like, I know where my stuff is.
Well,
But
you guys need to know about Google Forms because you can create anything in here, right?
he
And
uses it for everything. And
no,
our
I use Typeforms, but this is the free ones. I'm not going to make them go sign up for a $30 platform. You can do anything in here. So add questions. You can see the responses.
I haven't used Google Form yet.
Okay. Well, this you have to play with it. It's kind of like any other tool. You got to play with it, test it, send it to yourself, go through the problems yourself, and um, it's and then like just do a YouTube video on how to do it. Right. So someone on YouTube can show you how to do this thing in 30 seconds.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
perfect.
Yep. And then here, I'll just give you the main tip. On Google Forms, you can choose what type of question you're asking. So it could be a checkbox, multiple answer. You can just write the answer. You know, you can add an image right here, upload the image. Boom, you're good to go. You're already set to the
Okay.
races.
Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
What I love about
Thank you.
all this, Sean, Blanca, both of you guys, I mean, it's again, like having that meeting like that. You go and you have that listing appointment. They're going to work with you. You've gotten signed paperwork, hopefully, even if they're 3 months out from actually listing, but you're the ones they're going to work with. And now you're in that process of, you're building that rapport and that credibility. Like, wow, we did the right thing by hiring Sean and Blanca, and now to have that meeting and to just see all this stuff that you just went through, to me, it just sets you apart from like, wow, they're in good hands. That I think that, you know what I mean? Like the confidence that they would have as a seller or a buyer, coming out of that, to me, like that just says volumes. Because I think that's one of the biggest things, and I share this all the time, especially like newer agents, like become a pro in this business. You can make 300,000 this year. You can make 500,000 this year. You can make $1 million this year. There's plenty of agents that are going to do all of that. And they're the ones that have taken this business and treated it like a true $1 million business. We all have that. It's just that most of us, so many agents that I see all the time, they're working like they're worth $10 an hour. It's like you're worth way more than that. Become a pro in this. And I don't know, does that make sense, Sean? I mean, I think
Absolutely,
that's
because
why our industry in general just has, you look at here's the 50 most trusted professions out there. Like number 49 on the list is real estate agent. Number 50 is used car sales. We're literally right there. I mean, when you look at those lists, and it's that reputation is out there because most people don't treat it like a business. We don't become professionals. I can't tell you how many deals over the last couple of years, my wife and I mean, like the deal would have fallen apart if she wasn't doing both sides of the deal. Because the other agent didn't return phone calls, didn't return texts. We're having to call the buyer's lender, even though we got the listing. I mean, it's chaos because that other agent is just not, they're unavailable. They're not a pro. And it can get so frustrating when you're on this side of it, Be a pro in this business and treat it like a business, and then the respect of your clients and people, they'll be referring people to you left and right. That's what happens with this, So that's one of the things I see out of something like what you've done here, Sean, and all these the other training you did. I was like, wow, it's just like, it was so phenomenal in terms of just setting you guys apart. Like, why wouldn't they refer people to you? Why wouldn't they come back to you again 7 years later when they're ready to make the next move? They're coming back to you. There's no question they're coming back to you.
We've discovered something in this business, and it we didn't realize it at first few years. People only refer you if by referring you, is it going to make them look good? Like they don't care that you're a great agent. They want to say, if I send my doctor friend over to you, or my lawyer friend, or my engineer friend, how's that going to make me look? That's it. And in the beginning, we just had low level clients, the kind of we're new agents. So we just got what we got. We were thankful, but it was stressful. And then over time, we'd get all these engineer clients and doctors and then, first time home buyer, we take care of everyone, but it's good to have an $800,000 or $1.8 million closing once in a while. And when you get that, you got to be ready for it. And then they get that same experience, the $1.8 million client that the $300,000 new first time home buyer gets. So it's great.
Does that make sense, everybody, what I'm saying? I don't know. I feel like I'm on a soapbox and I'm not trying to be, but I just think it's just things I've seen. I do think, I don't know.
It makes sense, Jeff. Apparently they've got the systems in place, and that's the whole key, I think, is having all the different phases of it, you've got a different system for it.
Yeah.
And which really gives them the, that feeling of, why they'd want to work with you. It's not overwhelming. You've taken the overwhelm away by having the systems in place. So that's really good, man. Hats off to you.
It's worth taking the time to build that system. Take that Google Doc and now make it yours. Like come up with this. Think through that. Come back tomorrow, on our Wednesday mastermind where we just open it up for anything and everything. Take some of this and we mastermind even more on something like this. Whatever, like you can perfect this. And now you're just becoming more and more professional. So again, you're not just flying all over. My first couple of years, it was chaos. I just remember. I didn't have the system. It was just nuts. Whatever. We had to come up with some systems to make it all work. Professionally and efficiently. And it didn't feel so overwhelming. Once you get some of this stuff in place. Again, using AI like you're doing, Sean, ChatGPT, to put that prompt in there. It's like, and now that it spits out all this. You've got such a professional looking piece of work that you're sending out to them, whatever, it's all there. It's like it's work building the system, but now once the system's in place, on to the next system. And you've got all these different processes in place where now you really do have a true business. And you can train, assistants can help you and other people can help you do those interviews. You can scale your business over time. Otherwise, like every deal, it's like you're grateful to have the next deal, but it's like, oh my gosh, another deal. All this more work I got to do. It can feel so overwhelming after a while. Whereas if you have systems in place, you could do 50, 60, 100 deals a year. Hire an assistant, maybe, have maybe one buyer agent that comes on with you and handle that and do really, really well in this business. So
they might like to know also that we do this virtually. We live in Texas and our business, most like 30 of the 42 transactions that we closed last year were all online. We were in Texas and doing this from Texas. And I think that a lot of you, like us, wanted to move and not feel like we're losing our business. We are able to do this remotely because we have the systems now where people don't feel like we're passing them on to someone else. We're not passing them on to anybody. That's why it's important to us to meet with them, because this might be the only big meeting that we have where we get to listen to them. And then from there, it's going to be, they're running with our buyer's agent. They're running with our listing agent. They're running with our designer, with our photographer. Everybody's in the team coming in. So this is a very important meeting because we are telling them there's going to be a designer coming in. There's going to be a photographer. There's going to be the drone. All of these things are going to happen. So it's setting that expectation beforehand. Our engineers, our lawyers, our doctors absolutely love this because it sets the tone from the beginning. And the last big, right now we're going to Minnesota. We went to Minnesota because we had one of our clients said, now that I've been here for a few years, I want to interview agents just because everyone is telling me I should do that. So they were like, sure, we'll see you tomorrow. At that time when that happened, we were at the big convention, EXPCon in Miami, and we flew to Minnesota the next day, met with them, and they said, oh, okay, we still have another agent coming in. And when we told them this process is, you might not remember, but this is the process and this is how it's going to go. And you're going to have all these people come into place, because they were doubting it because we were not physically there. So that when we explain, these are the things and these are all the people that are going to come and support you. And we are going to be just like you did right now. You just made a call and we were here the next day. We're going to hold your hand all the way through the process. They didn't even call the next guy. The next morning, they were signing the contract because they were like, we don't even need to interview anyone else. We know that you have us, even though we're not physically there. So I think that if you're physically there, you can double those numbers. But for us, we needed to distance ourselves from the constant goal. And right now in Texas, we can slowly choose our clients. We are literally choosing our clients. We're going in with the expectation of we know what we have to offer. So when we meet with them, we don't overwhelm them with everything that we offer. We just say, interview 2 more people before we meet with you. And then we come in.
Very interesting. That's very cool. Are you guys licensed in multiple states, I'm assuming, right?
The two
Texas
states.
Texas and Minnesota, because we
Oh,
lived there
okay.
we lived there
Gotcha.
for 20 some I lived there for 23 years. Sean was there before. He's from there.
All right.
So we
Very
set
cool.
up we set up a lot of our business there. So now we're in Texas. Nobody knew us. We didn't know a soul when we came here 3 years ago. And this is our first year that we started selling locally and getting our first, we got I think 10 deals that first year. So because we didn't know anybody. So we did not do many open houses. We are living our lives. So people really get impressed when they see these processes. They love it because it completely sets you apart from everyone else, especially for people with money. And those are the people that we wanted,
Yeah.
people that had higher income, because the other ones that you'd run too much for small commissions. So that's something that mentally we had to be like, we want high-end clients. We need to be high-end agents.
I always like to be the last one in, on the listing appointment. I would tell them, like, do me, how many you interview? Well, we're interviewing 3 agents. You're one of them. And when are you meeting the other 2? Okay, great. Monday and Tuesday. Okay, great. I'll come in Tuesday night, Wednesday. What's best? Do me a favor. Just promise me you won't sign with anybody else. Let me just come in and show you how much more we do than everybody else. And at the end of that, if you're not happy with what I'm showing you, like, absolutely, you got to work with whoever you want to work with, and I'm good with that. But just don't sign with them until we meet, because I do want to show you how much more I do than what the other agents are going to do. Is that cool? Yeah, sure, that's cool. So then I get in, and I go in on Wednesday, and they sign with me. Done deal. That's what would happen, like, holy cow. Because everybody comes in, they're all doing the same thing. And you have something that makes you look like a pro and you stand out from the others. Like, they're ready to sign 10 minutes into it. Like, holy cow, I had no idea. And what we just went through with all this can be a big part of that. Real quick on the open house piece, I think for some of the solo agents and newer agents that are on here, like, because again, you guys being a married couple, so you're in one house and he's in the other house over here in the neighborhood. I think you guys could pair up, with other agents and just partner up and, find another house, close by somewhere in there, another listing. And any thoughts on that? Any suggestions on that? Because some of these solo agents could do exactly what you guys are doing, just pair up and send people back and forth, right?
Yeah, I invited another girl that is in my downline. I just said, Italia, just go to the other one. So she came actually one of the times she wanted to shadow how I do open houses. So she happened to be there, but it's a good idea to have somebody else because then you can send people to each other. And like I said, if somebody that I like and another agent that I trust is gonna get the buyer, like one of us is gonna, there is a benefit, especially because she's in my downline. So I'm like, go get the buyer. If I don't get it, you get it.
Yeah.
I have something I want to share about the open houses. So we were having such bad luck with just attendance last year that we came up with this. It's a development open house. So let's say you got a favorite development that you really want to showcase. Maybe you don't even have a listing in it, right? But they're going to have a couple open houses in that development. Maybe there's a couple existing homes that are having a couple open houses, and they have a model home that is open. You host a massive advertisement saying, whatever, Sandbrook Ranch tour. We're going to tour the entire development this Sunday, starting at noon. We're going to meet at the new construction model home. There's only 10 spots available. Maybe you provide some snacks. Maybe you just take it from there. And what I did is I got one of the neighbors because I was going to start with my own development. I rented a go-kart with like 4 or 5 seats or whatever. And that was going to be my tour guide. And I was going to have a cooler full of sodas and beers or something. And we were going to tour the neighborhood and visit the model plus 2 or 3 existing homes in the neighborhood. And one of those listings was mine. But it just, last year there was no traction. So no one even did it. But I know that's a good idea.
Yeah, no, there's ways to market that. Something that. No, for sure. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Guys, any other questions at all before we wrap it up? Here's the thing I would tell you. Now is the time to get this kind of stuff in place. It's the slowest time of the year. February will be busier than January. March will be busier than February. It's going to pick up. It's going to ramp up. And now's the time to get your marketing in place. Now's the time to get these systems in place. Don't be, August. Oh, shoot, you're so busy now. I got to get that thing that Sean did, in place. It's like, now's the time to set this up. Wouldn't take that long to set something up like what he just showed us. Take that Google Doc and, make it yours. Put it in play. And let that get creative in terms of other systems and things that you could be doing along the way. Jennifer and Paula going through FastCap, you got all kinds of time to do this stuff. I'm just kidding.
Right. I was just thinking to myself, like, I love the whole process. And as a new agent, it'd be really amazing to be able to build that like right away from the get-go. But it like what you have there, Sean, it's a beast. There's just a ton, like there's lots of really great workflows, and it's just getting started correctly and like building it correctly from the beginning so that you're not having to go back and rechange things. It'd be great to start off on the right foot and figure that part out.
Yeah. You're going to have to tweak it. I constantly add and change things here and there, but over time it just gets a little bit better and better.
Yeah, for sure. Kate, you want to unmute yourself? You got your hand raised? Got a question?
I sure do. That was awesome.
Hello, Kate.
Thank you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we hear you.
Okay. I was curious. I was looking at the Google Doc that you shared, and thank you for that. That is so valuable. Is there a way to make it so we can make a copy of it?
I could maybe run it through chat and see but that would be for Typeform. I think maybe I could try to do that.
I don't know. I was just thinking.
I think you can, Sean. I think there's a way to make a copy. So everybody can make a copy for themselves. Then they could go in and tweak it. Because right now it's like,
Go into File. You can save a copy.
File, save a copy.
On Typeform?
Yeah, I tried. For some reason on my version, it's not copyable.
Let me see here.
Oh, right there.
I can try to do that and I'll add it right to the doc.
Yeah. Okay. Great. Thank you so much. Good stuff.
Mm-hmm. And tell me if I'm wrong on this. Like I just went here, Kate, I just did this. If I hit File and right here, make a copy.
Oh. Okay. Maybe it's my setting. My bad.
That might be all that you need to do do it. Now it's yours, and now you can play with it and edit it and do whatever you want to do with it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I think that would work.
Yeah. Also, if you can go ahead and submit one too, and then it'll spit out and should email you the results, the raw results too. It should do that if you put your email in, but it doesn't really hurt anything. It doesn't matter to me if you do that, if you can't get it, but I would say go through the questions and make them your own, because you're not going to want to probably copy everything,
Yeah, for sure.
Oh yeah, I'll see what I can put in there.
Cool.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Sean, Blanca, thank you so much. Both of you guys.
Absolutely, guys.
You're always welcome to come in and, the next thing you want to share with us, we're ready. So seriously, you guys have some great stuff. And congratulations on all your success over the years and whatever. We love having you here, part of the group. So,
well, reach out. Please reach out if you have any questions or if you want to just run some ideas by us. Jennifer, reach out. Don't be shy, because I wish so many times, I wish I was a fly on the wall of the top producer in my office, but he wouldn't let me in to those meetings. And he wanted 50% of my commission just to be able to walk into one of the meetings with me. And now we're like, if we can help that agent that who we were 20 years ago, let's help them.
Oh, 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 oh. out here on the grind, chasing dreams in the sun. From the Gulf to the hills, yeah, we're